Okay, so let's talk a little bit about medical marijuana, right? MMJ. Everybody uses the abbreviation, everybody talks about it. What is it? Okay, we hear testimonials, we hear a lot of people talking about it, but there really haven't been any studies done since the 1970s, at least not done by the United States government or any really credible bodies. So the lack of research is astoundingly um, disappointing, and a lot of work has to be done to catch up. So I'm a big advocate of doing the research. I have friends who are suffering from traumatic brain injury, epilepsy, seizures, and there's been research done showing that there's a heck of a lot of promise in high CBD strains of sativas and indicas. And obviously, research has to be done, and these people can't be allowed to suffer as it's being done. That doesn't mean that it can't be done on a dual track and that we can't help these people while simultaneously gathering the data that we need to convince the medical community and those of us in the general population at large who have yet to subscribe to medical marijuana as anything except an end around play to get weed. Now, I understand that concept. I understand that there are a number of ways to drive a stake in the heart of prohibition and to end this thing that's caused so much misery and has put so many people in jail and ruined their lives in so many ways that I can't even count. And the thought of somebody with nausea from chemotherapy who's left without the option of smoking weed, which would readily take care of their nausea in most, if not all instances, and act as a palliative and help them in other ways, if only to make them feel better. And I'll tell you what, if you have cancer and if you're undergoing chemotherapy, I think that anything that makes you feel better is fine. Now, this is an important thing. Science matters. You know, the electronics behind me, the cell phones that we use daily, the way that we got to the moon and the space shuttles that we've used since, those are all based on science. And science matters. And it's built upon a body of evidence. And I've been told recently by a number of people to just accept it on faith, to accept testimonials, to accept the fact that it simply works. Well, you know what? I'm a believer. You're preaching to the choir, but you don't have to convince me, okay? 51% of the population agrees with us now for the first time in history. That means 49% of us don't, okay? When we're a country of people that need to reach a consensus in order to address these kind of societal issues and how we're going to handle weed. And it's irresponsible to act like snake oil salesmen and say that it cures everything. There is not one medicine, there's not one herb, there's not an ancient Chinese remedy that can be applied to all maladies. It simply isn't the case. There's no silver bullet, but it can be helpful. And let's not shoot ourselves in the foot by trying to tell people that it works on everything, because no matter how much I'd like that to be the case, I am a realist, and I have to tell you, I don't think it'll fix broken bones, you know. It may or may not have positive effects when it comes to T cells and cancer. It certainly seems to have promise with traumatic brain injury, TBI, epilepsy, seizures, lupus, and Lou Gehrig's, a number of very serious diseases. And we cannot keep saying that it's going to cure everything. What we can say is that it holds tremendous promise, It may be used as a conjunctive therapy in virtually every malady and condition that there is out there. I'm not saying that it doesn't do any good. I'm simply saying, hey, look, if you have a living will, if you've got a family, tell them, should something happen to me, I want my medical records to be freed up. I want to sign a HIPAA release. I want to give these records to somebody so that they can see that it made a difference in my life and I can contribute to society and leave a legacy. Now, your name can be redacted. Your personal information can be redacted. All of this stuff is removed. You don't even have to submit it for the studies with your personal information. However, the more you leave in, the better we can tell what demographics you fall into, and the better we can see if it is, in fact, something that we can attribute to the THC, the CBDs, other psychotropic ingredients, or inert ingredients that are found in the stem, the stalks, the roots, and of course the flowers. So, once again, I'm here just to advocate the truth. And yes, they used to burn heretics for doing the same thing, but I don't expect to be burned at the stake. I've got lots of friends, among them my dear friends at SoCal Cuts, and I want to wish you all peace. I sincerely do, and I approve this message as MMJ Muse and as Stuart Gus. I'll put my name, my face, for what it's worth, and my reputation on the line. And I've been in the medical community my entire life, and I've been growing flowers my entire life. And I have to tell you, I have a standing challenge. If there is anybody in the world, anywhere in the world, medical professional or not, who can provide me with a death certificate that cites marijuana or THC as the cause of death, or even one of the 4 typically cited causes of death, even if it's a secondary or tertiary cause, I want to see it. There's no record. So, you know what? If you've got it, show it. Otherwise, the rest of us are going to go on assuming there is no such record, and all this nonsense is about a drug that's never killed anybody. And there's alcohol, and there's cigarettes, and there's hard drugs, and we shouldn't even be whispering their names when we're talking about pot. You all have a nice day. Peace. Once again, be kind to each other.